Back to politics. President Trump announced he will tackle Chicago's violence if Mayor Rahm Emanuel cannot do it himself by sending in the feds. Jim Brown joins us now, NFL legend and civil rights activist. Thanks for coming on this show. Jim, first thing I want to ask you about is this meeting that you had. You and several other athletes were on a panel. And I recall the famous gathering that you, Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that photograph, it was all the Ebony and Jet magazines, and it was about athletes being more responsible to the community. Jim, can you hear me?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm wondering the parallels, because that was almost 50 years ago.
Well, I'm 80 years old, so it's been a long time. But I've been trucking along, trying to do the best that I could. Yes, we've had a meeting in San Jose with Dr. Harry Edwards, who is a great American, and we had the diversity of athletes from different sports. And the issue is to really help make this a better country, use the resources that we have, use the influence that we have, and call attention to the things that need help, and to be there and to really stimulate the fact that people now are very active because of this election, and the president has been open to reaching out to us. So for the first time, I can really feel I'm going to be a part of great change in the country.
Well, you have been trying, to your point, though, to help this country in many ways for a long, long time. Amera I Can is your nonprofit organization, and what I do find interesting is when I look at the principles that you talk about as academics, conforming your behavior to acceptable social standards, attitude modification, it seems to me that you're also, while it's going to be great to have the President of the United States helping, ultimately the solution to some of these problems are within the grasp of the people themselves.
Yes, one of the things that I've always understood is that the so-called low people are really the big people. They're the ones that live in these communities. They're the ones that have to deal with the violence, deal with the crime, and they're the ones that we have to back up, give them a position so that they can use their influence and their connections. So when we go into Chicago, I've already met with, not met with, but I've already talked to various community people that have influence, know our youngsters, become surrogate to those youngsters, and those youngsters will listen to them. So we will be going in, I think, within the next 2 weeks.
And your assessment so far of President Trump, I know you had a great meeting with him. You're optimistic about it. How do you feel this week? He hit the ground running, and he's done everything so far that he's promised people he would do.
Absolutely. I tell people I'm really not a quarterback. I'm a running back, so I don't know everything. But what I do know is the efforts that I'm trying to make with a lot of like-minded people, he has been behind 100%. Pastor Darrell Scott out of Cleveland, one of his great supporters, is leading us in a great direction to be able to help make change with his support. And I could not ask the president for more than what I've just said to you. He has been great when it comes to identifying Chicago. He has not minced his words, and some people think it's controversial, but we're very glad to hear him say that if you don't do the right thing, I'm going to send the feds in. Well, we're going to go in and hopefully never have to use the feds.
Well, it's certainly pretty clear to everyone that the mayor there now and the string of mayors who have been there, they have certainly missed the mark. There's something about the environment there, particularly in Chicago, where murders were double that of New York and Los Angeles combined. So it's a very interesting, unique situation. But you've seen this before, and you're going to be uniquely, I guess, instrumental in being able to help this. How much time do you think maybe you and others should have before maybe Donald Trump says, okay, nothing is going to work here, or it can't, and maybe we need to send in more federal support?
Well, I don't think that we're going to reach that particular position. I believe that with the community knowing that we have a great interest in bringing something positive there, because as you know, we need jobs all over this country. And if we're dealing with corporations and we're looking at the need of those communities, the need for those jobs, then they're going to cooperate with us. Right. And we've been able to, in the past, create a truce and watch that lasted for 15 years just using community people.
Jim Brown, you're a legend on the field and off the field, and I'm really honored to have been able to speak to you this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.